Territory is a question that I get asked a lot about the Primalista license. And initially it might seem like a bit of an oversight, like, why do they not have territories? Why can't I just have my area? And what if, in the future, after I've established my business, what if someone else comes into my area and steals my customers and my markets? And the first thing I want to clear up is that it's not an oversight. It's very well thought through. And hopefully by the end of this video, when you see why I've decided not to have territories, you'll totally get it, right? So first of all, just want to clear up that primalistas do have territory, if you like, on their stockists, their markets, their customers. So new primalistas coming in, they can't approach existing primal alternative stockists or markets or customers. Not that you would anyway though, right? Because that's kind of like not cool, right? So you would, any new primalista coming in, when they have their interview or their chat with me, we really look at who their potential stockists are and who they want to approach. And we've got a beautiful communication tool called the Target Stockist Spreadsheet, which all of the primalistas add on where they've spoken to stockists and markets, so that nobody steps on anyone's toes. Because trust me when I say that that's how everyone feels. So that's the general vibe. Nobody wants to step on anyone's toes, right? That's how everybody feels, which is gorgeous. So the best way to describe it, the why we have no territory, because, this isn't a franchise. It's not a franchise model. It's called a license, but I don't know of any other licenses like this that are out there. So I'm going to use with you an analogy of a yoga teacher to describe why primal alternative producers don't get allocated a postcode or a geographical territory. Okay. So imagine if you were a yoga teacher and you had to do all of the yoga classes in your area. Sorry, there's somebody a bit suspicious coming towards my car. Oh no, I'm sweet. And gotta be safe. Have your wits about you. So say for example, you're a yoga teacher and you had to do all of the yoga classes in your postcode, like all of them. Whether they're on at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock at night, you had to do all of them. Would that be a sustainable business that you could create to serve you? No, it wouldn't. You would be at the beck and call of when those classes were on and when those yoga students wanted those classes, right? Now, for example, if you think about a primal alternative producer, it's very much the same. So, for example, you might only have one day to bake. So there's no point allocating all of, 6333, for example, which is my postcode, to you, because you won't be able to serve all of the stockists that we've got in 6333 and all of the customers. You just won't be able to get it done. You'll hit burnout, you'll feel overwhelmed. And in essence, it's just not a sustainable model. So the way that primalistas work is we all charge one price. So there's no competition, there's no undercutting. I know it's a new way of working, and there needs to be a certain amount of trust and surrender to be able to trust that this is going to work and to move away from a negative bias, which we all have as humans because that's how we survive, and to move more into an abundance mindset. And when you think of all of the cafes, the restaurants, the IGAs, the health food shops, the farmers markets, the online shop orders, the independent networks of people who are looking for a whole food, grain-free, homemade alternative, the list is endless. We are so far from saturation point. And when we get to saturation point, I'll let you know. But for now, we're not. In fact, we have got more demand than we can supply as Primal Alternative. We're not a big food company. We are a real food movement. So it's very collaborative. It's very cooperative. It's like a sisterhood. So, for example, let's go back to the yoga analogy. In 6333, which is my postcode, there are a number of yoga teachers. Some yoga teachers, I really enjoy their classes. Other yoga teachers, I don't want to go to those classes. So as a customer, don't I have the right to choose who I want to do yoga with? And it's the same with our Primal Alternative producers. So some of our stockists and customers prefer dealing with a certain Primalista over another Primalista. It's just how people work. You click with certain people and you don't click with other people. Am I right? Right. And it's the same with stockists. Some Primalistas don't want to work with a certain stockist. And other Primalistas have that knack of getting that stockist on board. So for example, I tried to get us into one particular stockist in this area. No joy. Another Primalista comes into the area. Boom! Stockist on board. Because people buy from people. And some people just don't click with some people. And that's totally cool. So in 6333, the yoga teachers all collaborate together. They all charge a similar price. They all support each other's social media pages. They refer yoga students to certain classes. If they, say want a 5:30 class and that teacher only does 6 a.m. classes. And that's exactly how the Primalistas work as well. So I hope this has given you a bit more of an insight into our new paradigm, feminine way of working. I think it's a beautiful model. I've seen it work wonderfully. So for example, if you were in 6333, we'll keep using that postcode, which is Denmark, WA, in case you're wondering. Like if you're in that postcode and you wanted to take a month off to travel around Europe, let's say, then who's going to deal with your stockists and all your customers if only you can do that suburb, right? Or that postcode. What's going to happen to our customers? They're going to go without. And as you know, consistency is key in running a successful business. You've got to show up and keep showing up. If your product suddenly disappears off the shelf, customers get confused and they stop buying from you. Then you come back from your 4 weeks in Europe and it's like starting again. Whereas if you collaborated with another Primal Alternative producer for that 4 weeks while you're swanning off around Europe one day, when all this is over, then you can, effortlessly move back into your business. So that's how it works. And, if an online shop order comes in for 6333 and you are like, oh my God, I'm maxed out, I'm homeschooling the kids, I can't cope with any more baking this week, then you can have that order covered by another Primalista sister nearby and the customer gets looked after and the whole brand and the customer wins. Yay! Let me know what you think about this model because I know it's different, but it just resonates so much with me. It's a real core value of Primal Alternative is our non-geographical territory and our collaborative network of local producers. So I'd love to know if this sings to you or not. Let me know in the comments below. Over and out.